YouTube. This is Ruth Basque with a video for Divination Tuesday. I am getting this video up late, so by the time it is uploaded, it will probably be Wednesday, but this is my video for Divination Tuesday. As you can see here, I have gotten a new deck of tarot cards called the Familiars Tarot. I wanted to share this deck of tarot cards with you, and also, not all the cards are in this deck at the moment because 3 of them are being used on my Sanctissima Morte altar in a spell that I did. And, excuse me. I really love the way this deck looked when I got it. However, when I got it in the mail, it didn't have the booklet on the inside of the box to tell you what the cards are. But that's okay, because a lot of the times I believe you should go on your feeling of the card and let the cards talk to you instead of trying to interpret them the way the person interpret them when they were doing them. And I think that booklets that tell you what the card meanings are only a fallback for those who can't quite figure out what the card is trying to say. So, with that being said, without further ado, I'm going to show you the pictures on this tarot, which I find extremely beautiful, and I hope you like it. So we will start with this first top card right here, the 10 of Wands. I thought this is really beautiful, this 10 of Wands right here. And it's like, it shows a book, and then it shows a bunch of wands on the books. We all use wands when we practice the craft for one reason or another. And we're always looking into our book of shadows when we use the wands. So this would tell me this is a very powerful card when it comes to the book of shadows and your magical wand and what is being cast in your life. This one right here is the 9 of Wands. Again, it's the books and the wands. I love that combination. This is the 8 of Wands. I love also the Celtic design on the corners. And it's just, these are really pretty artwork. This is a standard way of doing wands without, much of a background like the Rita White Tarot has. But, yeah, these wands are definitely pretty. Here is the 7 of Wands. The 6 of Wands. The 5 of Wands. The 4 of Wands. Get it up here so it focuses better. 3 of Wands. The 2 of Wands. The Ace of Wands. So the familiar for the wands is the cat, as you can see. So the cat is in the next few cards, will be shown in the next few cards. So the cat rules the wand suit. And I think cats are really cool. They're very wise. They're very independent, but at the same time can be very cuddly. They love to be in circles when you're doing a circle for magic. I mean, cats have always been associated with witches and witchcraft, although a cat does not have to be your only familiar. And there are other animals that could be your familiar as well. And there's your, let me see, getting this to focus. The Knave of Wands is another cat. The Knight of Wands. And you can see a black cat leaning up against a witch's hat and the witch's shoes with a mouse in the boots. This is your Queen of Wands. Beautiful white cat sitting there on the steps with a little three-sided necklace there, which is an Irish necklace associated with the Irish gods and goddesses. Here's your King of Wands, which you see him just laying there on the Book of Shadows. Looks kind of like the book that would be from the Craft, or the TV show I used to watch. It's got a lot of nice little detail to it. So that was the wands. And then we're going to go into the Ten of Swords. So this is how the Tens of Swords looks, and they used purple and black for this. We'll go through these fast because you get the idea of what they are. Like this is the Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Six of Swords, Five of Swords, Four of Swords, Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords, which, as you can see, the raven is associated with the swords. Ravens are quite an interesting bird, too. I find this one to be pretty, the way they did this. And then you have your Knave of Swords. That, true to his name, stealing a key. The Knight, I believe, yep, the Knight of Swords. Two ravens. The Queen of Swords. Two ravens in flight with a full moon behind them. And that's kind of mystical to me because that shows that because these birds don't fly at night, yet here they are flying in the skies at night by a full moon. That is so goddess orientated. And then there's your King of Swords. Then we have your pentacles, or coins. As you notice, these pentacles, like most of your tarots, have the pentacle in the center with all that Celtic knotwork. 10, 9, 8. We'll just go through these real fast so you can see the detail on them. The 2 gives you more of a detail to it. The Ace, as you can see, they used the wolf spirit, a familiar, for the pentacles, and I really love that because I love wolves as well as I do cats, and I think these wolves are just done so beautifully done. And the blue eyes. This one is the Knave. It's 3 wolves howling at a full moon. The Knight. The Queen. The King. And then we have the Cups. Ace of Cups, and the used spirit animal, the owl. And I love this too, because I have, like, as you know, been working with Santissia Morte. So when I saw that the owl was in this deck, and they were using it for the suit of cups, she was the first person to go through my mind, because there is her animal familiar in this tarot, on the animal familiar tarot, and it just really fascinated me. I'm going to be using some of these a lot when they're required for in some of my spell work to have more power of Santissia Morte. And I love the cup, which also has the pentacle in the center, and then it has an owl with its wings spread out on the cup. I found this to be very beautiful. And then you have your Knave of Cups, 3 young owls with the full moon behind them. And you have your Knight of Cups, which, when you look at it, it gives you a owl sitting on a sign with an arrow pointing down a path. And here's your Queen of Cups, right there on a large crystal ball with a necklace underneath it, and a full moon in the background. And the King of Cups, feather in his mouth, sitting on the Books of Shadows. And then we go into the 21 majors. If I can get this turned over so they show what they're supposed to. The Fool, as you can see, is a cat. So you see the Fool, you see the cat, and the suit that I think this card would fit with would be the one that has the cats on it. So I found that kind of interesting too, and I think it's so cute. For the Magician, you also have a cat. There's a bit of a glare, so it's going to be kind of hard to get rid of that. There we go, we got rid of the glare. And you have the cat for the High Priestess, rubbing up against a broom. For the Empress, it is a mirror and her foal. For the Emperor, we have a buck. For the Hierophant, or High Priest, is an owl and a cat. For the Lovers, we have an interpretation of Red Riding Hood and the wolf, but that's not a bad wolf, and it doesn't look like Red Riding Hood's afraid of that wolf. That would be you. I would take somebody actually embracing their opposite side, their animal side, which doesn't always have to be a wolf, but you embrace the things you fear and your other half, and you learn to work with it. Lovers does not have to be a couple. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be sometimes pretty much you coming to learn to love yourself and the parts of you. So I really did. I liked this card as well. A unicorn for the Chariot. Justice is a cat. He has control of it all. The Hermit is a cat looking out a window. The Wheel of Fortune, another cat with a Ouija board. Strength is a wolf. The Hanged Man is a raven on a skull with a pentacle hanging over the side. And it looks like that skull has a map on it. Death. Interesting they'd use a cat for death. I think I would have found something that was more Korean, but they use this unusual cat for death. And then for Temperance, we have two unicorns, a mare and her foal. For the Devil, they used a wolf, and I didn't find that to be very appealing because I just don't see wolves being, well, like that. The Tower. Tower in the background with a storm, and then it looks like Harry Potter's owl trying to get out of it with a note for him, huh? The Star. 3 cats and a shooting star. The Moon. See, there for once is a different animal. You have a rabbit with a full moon for the moon. Or it could be a March hare. The Sun is another rabbit with the sun shining bright over Stonehenge. Judgment is a cat. Looks like he's playing with a deck of tarot cards too. The World is the owl. And I love that because the owl, like I said, is also associated with Santissia Morte. And she is worldwide. I mean, she is everywhere. So that fit to me with her. I found that really interesting. Kind of really love that. So that's the new tarot deck that I just got not too long ago that I wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I was kind of disappointed when I got it because it didn't have the booklet with it. But that's okay. I can always look the book up on the internet. I'm sure I could find a used one. And if I have to buy a whole nother set with a book, brand new, I can do that too. But like I said, I'm using this tarot mostly, though, not for fortune telling as much as using it for spell work. I've dedicated it and given it to Santissia Morte for that purpose. So when I'm using them, I will be using them on my Santissia Morte altar until I can get her tarot deck that I'm trying very hard to get right now. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you do, let me know. Leave comments below. Hit the subscribe button and like the video and share it and hit the bell so you know when I'm uploading more videos. In the meantime, may the goddess bless you with her love. So be it. Blessed be.